Suresh, first question. It's been a good start, but like the Mumbai track, it's good for batting compared to probably the Delhi track. What has been the track record of the Firozshah Kotla track? So, like, what is the kind of expectation after a good 200 plus total? What's the kind of expectation from this track, from your batsmen, especially to pitch the factor?
Depending upon the wicket, we'll be deciding how to go about the in a batting lineup. We'll be deciding that how we'll be playing on a certain wicket. So since we got a really good start in Mumbai, it's really going to be important for us to maintain the consistency, and from there onwards we'll be setting a benchmark for everyone in the team. And yes, as a team we've been having our preparations really well. All of them are really batting good at the moment, and we just got to back our instincts and play the way we are currently.
Shreyas, you've been playing for a long time now, you've been switching formats as well. So, as a batsman, how much do you think about formats when you go out to bat?
Yes, I've been playing good amount of cricket for the last few years, and we are currently used to changing of different formats and trying to use different mindset in every field. So when it's T20, I'm really happy because you can express your freedom, and you can go from the first ball itself. So I really love to handle myself in pressure situations, and I've seen that over the years I've become more mature as a player, and trying to build myself as having a good temperament as a batsman, and that's what I've been focusing on.
Ricky, a question for you. Like, this has been asked to you earlier also, but like the World Cup round the corner, there are some of the India hopefuls who are thinking about it. Probably in Delhi Daredevils, there's Rishabh Pant, who is a serious contender. So you cannot really, if the players cannot keep that out of the mind, where does the coach's role come into play? Because that always works at the back of your mind, because you're always thinking that selectors might be watching my performances. So as a coach, what do you tell a youngster who is probably the fringe player, not a certainty, not like a Shikhar Dhawan who is certain to be there in that sport? Like, as a coach, what do you tell that youngster?
Look, so far I haven't had to tell any of our players anything other than focusing on winning games in the IPL, winning games for Delhi Capitals. That's all that I'm here to do and to worry about, is to make sure that the players are well prepared to hopefully win games like we did yesterday. If you're talking about Rishabh only, I'd still keep his name in, Shreyas's name in calculations as well for that World Cup squad. But all they can do is score runs in the IPL. If they score runs in the IPL, they're giving themselves a chance to be picked in that World Cup squad. But from what I've seen so far, every one of our boys has been completely focused on doing the best they can for the Delhi Capitals, and as long as that stays the way, then I won't have to say too much at all.
Ricky, you've coached a franchise that has won 3 titles, and your next opposition is also one that comes with 3 titles. In that sense, Delhi find themselves at the other end of the spectrum. So, what do you think they need to sort of catch up?
Look, what's happened in the past has happened. We can't change that. It's a new, fresh outlook on the whole franchise this year. From a total rebranding, new owners. We've got a lot of different players in the squad. So what's happened in the past doesn't really matter at all to what's going to happen this season. Look, we're really happy with what we've been able to build in the last 10 or 12 days since we've been together as a group. We've trained really hard. We've talked long and hard about some cultural things that we want to try and build around this team, and so far it's working well. Everyone's really enjoying themselves. They've been willing to work extra hard, and as you saw yesterday, when the pressure moments came in the game yesterday, our boys were willing to stand up and get the job done. So that's what we're trying to create and we're trying to build, and hopefully that'll be good enough to take us somewhere near winning enough games to qualify for the finals this year.
Yeah, Ricky, one question. The kind of innings Rishabh Pant played yesterday had shown that he has some X factor. So what is your observation about Rishabh Pant, how he's different from other guys? Because the kind of shots he plays, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, well, look, I've known for a couple of seasons now that Rishabh Pant's got that X factor about him, but what I'm liking more and more is how he's turning that into match-winning performances more and more often as well. I think if you look at the back half of last season, when he was probably playing his best was when our team played our best and won most games. That even yesterday, we'd set up a really good platform for him to go in and express himself at the end of the innings. I think Colin Ingram did a great job yesterday, changing the momentum of the game for us and giving us a platform for Rishab to go in and finish off the innings. But look, he's something special. You know, I made mention of that in the team chat that we had last night. You don't see innings like that every day, and he's doing it more and more. So, you know, Shreyas spoke about himself maturing as a player over the last 12 or 18 months, and you know, I've really seen Rishabh Pant mature his game and mature as a person as well, and that won't be the only game he wins for Delhi this year. He'll win many more games for sure.
So just one more. Okay.
One next.
Two questions first. Both the teams, Delhi and Chennai are coming from the win, and spinners played a big part in CSK's win. How do you manage? How will you tackle that first? And were there any message to Shikhar to play a controlled inning, because we saw that last night he was very controlled in his shot selections.
Yeah, look, that is what we want from Shikhar. We want Shikhar to be able to hold the top of our innings together, hold that top order together. And I think probably the reason that he was probably a little bit more subdued yesterday was that it wasn't an easy wicket early on. I think the first 3 or 4 batsmen that came back in said that there was just a little bit of seam movement in the pitch. So we needed Shikhar to play that sort of role, get through the tough overs, and that was going to allow guys like Ingram and Rishabh Pant to come in and play the way they did later on. So I thought that was a really encouraging start for Shikhar for the Delhi Capitals, and he'll get better. He'll build on that. So yeah, that was exactly what we wanted from him.
And how do you plan to tackle the spinners?
Yeah, the spinners won't worry us. You know, we've got a well balanced lineup. You think about our top 4 batsmen that we've got are 4 of India's best players. So they're brought up playing the spin. Yes, Chennai, you know, had a really good win on the back of their spin bowlers in their first game. Hopefully this wicket here in Delhi doesn't spin quite as much as that one spun the other night, but I'm pretty confident in this group of batters that we got together that they can get the job done against the Chennai spinners for sure.
Ricky, you're working with Shreyas, Rishabh. This is basically the next generation of batting. It's different from what you have seen, grown up with. So has batsmanship reached a point where technique-wise it's same across formats, it's just the mindset?
Oh no, I don't. I think there's still different techniques that need to be employed in every format of the game. You know, I'm sure that if we saw Rishabh bat the way he did last night, that's not going to stand up in a Test match in England or South Africa. I mean, you still have to have a base set of skills. You know, if you want to play 4 or 5 day cricket, you need to have a technique that's going to stand up to bat for 10 hours at a time. Simple as that. But you know, I think the modern player now, the generation of players now are exceptionally skillful, they're exceptionally powerful, they're used to training a certain way, which is probably with more freedom than players in the past, where they just go to the nets and work on hitting things. I mean, when I was coming through, you were going to the nets to really work on the defensive side of your game first and then elaborate later. But these guys now are, you know, they're playing a lot of short format cricket, they're playing a lot of T20 cricket, and you know, the way that they train, the way they hit the ball now, it's great to sit back as a coach, and when you do some things with them at training, it's great to see it come off in the game.
Ricky,
Ricky, my question is for you. Previously, you had been with Mumbai Indians, and under your observation, team has done well, and they have won the title. And this time, you are with the new franchise. Okay, so under your observation, it's going to be a big challenge for you, as Delhi Capital hasn't won even a single title so far. So, is it going to be any kind of a challenge you are going to face, and what preparation do you have this time to finally get this done?
Yeah, look, it's a big challenge for all of us. You know, we've got, I think, over 40 staff and players in this group, and it's a challenge for each and every one of us. It's not just down to the 11 players that take the field. It's about the whole franchise doing the best that it can to find ways to get better. I mean, that's the reason that we go to training every day, is just to find ways to get better as a group of players, and hopefully all the other support staff look after us and make our jobs as easy as possible. But I don't feel any more pressure. I mean, I'm sure the players don't feel any more pressure either. I mean, it's always nice being in a winning environment, but we've got the chance to create that here and now. And you know, the work that we've done over the last couple of weeks, we're heading in the right direction. So I'm really excited about where this group can go. I know the players are excited. You know, we're having a lot of fun together, and as a result of that, I think we'll win a lot of games this tournament.
Ricky, question like, if Ambati Naidu's a few days of past few months of record is taken up, whether it's been Pat Cummins or Lockie Ferguson, genuine quick bowlers have troubled him. So could there be a chance that Kagiso Rabada, instead of one change, can come up, like probably because of he's a genuine quick bowler?
Could he open the bowling, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that, yeah.
David played yesterday against KKR. It didn't look like that he was coming off from a ban. Were you impressed by the way he batted?
I must admit, I didn't watch one ball of David's innings. I was more worried about getting our boys right. We had all our team meetings and everything yesterday afternoon, so I was more worried about committing to getting all that stuff right for our game. But I spoke to him this morning. He said he was happy enough with the way that he played. He still said he felt a little bit scratchy. He wasn't quite there yet, which is, I guess, is pretty understandable. I actually felt that he might have struggled the first part of this tournament, coming off, not a very high standard of cricket over the last 12 months. But it's great signs for him, and it's great signs for Australia looking at the World Cup. But I'll only pay attention to him when we're going to play against them in the next game, and we don't play them for a while yet.
Last couple of questions. Yeah.
Yes, just one question. Ricky, any words for Ishant Sharma? I think he bowled very well, but what's your observation on Ishant?
Yeah, look, I had a great chat after the game last night. Ishant's work ethic since he's been here with the Delhi Capitals has been absolutely outstanding. And I made sure the first day of training that I got to him, I spoke to him about what I expected of him as far as his playing is concerned, but also he's a leader around our group now. He's an experienced guy that's played a lot of international cricket, and he's also got a role to play to help some of our younger Indian fast bowlers out as well. But look, he's worked exceptionally hard. I think he's actually, and Shraz will probably agree, I think he's bowling as well now as he's probably ever bowled in his career. Even his pace, I think, is probably as quick as he's bowled in his career, which is a great sign. So he did a great job for us last night. Bowling those 3 overs up front in the power play, really set the game up for us. So when as a coach, when you see guys like that work that hard and then get the results, it's really pleasing. So a big pat on the back to him.